With NWS Channel 9, The Big Nine.
At this time, I'd like to introduce the astronaut crew for the Apollo 11 mission. Lunar Module Pilot Edwin Aldrin, Spacecraft Commander Neil Armstrong, and Command Module Pilot Michael Collins.
I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal, before this decade is out, of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the Earth.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
Early last week, when man accomplished his greatest adventure, Channel 9 has much pleasure presenting edited videotape highlights of Apollo 11's epic voyage, from blastoff to splashdown.
Two minutes, 30 seconds and counting. We're still go on Apollo 11 at this time. The vehicle starting to pressurize as far as the propellant tanks are concerned, and all is still go as we monitor our status for it. 2 minutes, 10 seconds and counting. The target for the Apollo 11 astronauts, the moon at liftoff, will be at a distance of 218,096 miles away. We've just passed the 2-minute mark in the countdown. T-minus 1 minute, 54 seconds and counting. Our status board indicates that the oxidizer tanks in the second and third stages now have pressurized. We continue to build up pressure in all three stages here at the last minute to prepare it for a liftoff. T-minus 1 minute, 35 seconds on the Apollo mission, the flight to land the first men on the moon. All indications coming in to the control center at this time indicate we are go. 1 minute, 25 seconds and counting. Our status board indicates the third stage completely pressurized. 80-second mark has now been passed. We'll go on full internal power at the 50-second mark in the countdown. Guidance system goes on internal at 17 seconds, leading up to the ignition sequence at 8.9 seconds. We're approaching the 60-second mark on the Apollo 11 mission. T-minus 60 seconds and counting. We passed T-minus 60. 55 seconds and counting. Neil Armstrong just reported back it's been a real smooth countdown. We passed the 50-second mark. Power transfer is complete. We're on internal power with the launch vehicle at this time. 40 seconds away from the Apollo 11 liftoff. All the second stage tanks now pressurized. 35 seconds and counting. We are still go with Apollo 11. 30 seconds and counting. Astronauts report it feels good. T-minus 25 seconds. 20 seconds and counting. T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11. Tower cleared.
We got a roll program. Neil Armstrong reporting the roll and pitch program, which puts Apollo 11 on a proper heading. Plus 30 seconds. Roll complete and the pitch is programmed. We're at 1350 on the start bomb. Set 8 miles downrange, 12 miles high. Velocity 4,000 feet per second.
Stand by for mode 1 Charlie. Mark, mode 1 Charlie.
1 Charlie. Station. And ignition. S4B is go.
11 Houston, thrust is go. All engines, you're looking good.
Roger, you're loud and clear, Houston. At 3 minutes, downrange 70 miles, 43 miles high, velocity 9,300 feet per second. We got skirt step.
Roger, we confirm skirt step.
United States Force, these thunderstorms downrange is about all.
This is Houston. You are go for staging.
Ralph, we're 10 seconds away from S4B.
Stand by for mode 4 capability.
Mode 4.
Mark, mode 4 capability.
Mode 4 on Apollo 11 could get into orbit using the service propulsion system.
PDQ 602 up here.
Altitude is 100 miles, downrange 883 miles.
PDQ 602.
And ignition.
Ignition
We're
confirmed.
running,
Thrust is go. 11.
700 PSI. 697, there we are.
And we have a good third stage now. We're predicting third stage shutdown at 11 minutes 42 seconds. Velocity 25,254 feet per second. Downrange 1,400 miles now. Altitude 102.8 nautical miles.
Shutdown.
Shutdown right on time.
1.4 by 103.6.
Roger, shut down, and we copy 101.4 by 103.6. Apollo 11, this is Houston. You are confirmed to go for orbit.
Okay, 11, we have a picture. We see the Earth right in the center of the screen, over.
Roger, Houston, Apollo 11. Calling in from about 130,000 miles out. And we'll zoom our camera in slowly to get the most magnification we can. Over. Roger, you're seeing Earth as we see it on our left-hand window, just a little more than a half Earth. We're looking at the eastern Pacific Ocean. In the north half of the top half of the screen, we can see North America, Alaska, United States, Canada, Mexico, and Central America.
Well, I put on a code and time. I'd known about this ahead of time. Is Buzz holding your cue cards for you, over? Would you believe you're looking at chicken stew here? All you have to do is 3 ounces of hot water for 5 or 10 minutes. Now, we get our hot water out of a little spigot up here with a filter on it that filters any gases that may be in the drinking water out. And we just stick the end of this little tube in the end of the spigot and pull the trigger 3 times for 3 ounces of hot water, and then mush it up and slice the end off it, and there you go. Beautiful chicken stew. Sounds delicious. Yeah, the food so far has been very good. We couldn't be happier with it. Roger.
Flashlight a second.
The surgeons are saying thank you there for that. And it is sort of down in a dark corner, so we have a flashlight here to help us see things. And if I can let go of it carefully, it'll just hold itself right where it is. Roger. As long as you disturb it, will. Apollo 11, Houston, that's a pretty good demonstration. Which is devoid of craters, of which there's not very much, is sort of a hilly-looking area. It's not like a mare at all.
Roger, we copy that about the sea, and looks like you were just giving us a view of the crater Napier, the large crater on the left, and Jansky on the right.
That exchange between Capcom Bruce McCandless and Mike Collins aboard the Apollo 11 spacecraft.
We show you an altitude now of about 110 miles, and of course you'd be considerably lower at the initiation of powered descent.
Okay, Houston, look at register 3 on the Disky theta. Theta is increasing toward my desired of 315, and I'll let the hand controller alone here, and I'll bet you it reverses it.
Okay, 11, this is Houston. We're getting a beautiful picture of Langrenus now with its rather conspicuous central peak.
Sea of Fertility doesn't look very fertile to me. I don't know who named it.
Yes, it's a very beautiful and rugged site that we've got on the screen now.
I think you got some interesting data on thruster firings versus pitch angle. It looks like that LEM just wants to head down toward the surface. And as the moon sinks slowly in the west, Apollo 11 bids good day to you. Continue at all at 4 minutes. Roger, you're a go. You go to continue power descent. You're a go to continue power descent. Roger, copy. 6+25.
We're still go, altitude 27,000 feet.
Okay, 75 feet. Car's looking good, down a half. 6 forward. 60 seconds. Lights on. 6. Down 2.5. Forward. Forward. That's 40 feet, down 2.5. Picking up some dust. 30 feet, 2.5 down. Straight shadow. 4 forward. 4 forward. Drift into the right a little. 20. Down a half. 30 seconds. Forward. Good. Okay. Contact light. Okay, engine stop. ACA at a descent. Mode control both auto, descent engine command override off. Engine arm off. 413 is in. We copy you down, Eagle.
Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Roger, Tranquility. We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're breathing again. Thanks a lot. Roger, we read you 5 by Columbia. He has landed Tranquility Base. Eagle is at Tranquility, over.
Yeah, I heard the whole thing.
Well, good show.
Fantastic.
Stop reset.
Okay, Neil, we can see you coming down the ladder now. Neil, we can see you coming.
Okay, I just checked getting back up to that first step. That isn't collapsed too far, but it's adequate to get back up.
Roger, we copy.
It's a pretty good little jump. I'm at the foot of the ladder. The LEM footbeds are only depressed in the surface about 1 or 2 inches. Although the surface appears to be very, very fine-grained as you get close to it. It's almost like a powder. Ground mass is very fine. I'm going to step off the LEM now. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. As the surface is fine and powdery, I can pick it up loosely with my toe. It does adhere in fine layers, like powdered charcoal, to the sole and sides of my boot. I only go in a small fraction of an inch, maybe an eighth of an inch, but I can see the footprints of my boots and the treads and the fine sandy particles.
Neil, this is Houston. We're copying.
There seems to be no difficulty in moving around as we suspected. It's even perhaps easier than the simulations of 16G that we performed in various simulations on the ground. Absolutely no trouble to walk around. Okay, Buzz, we ready to bring down the camera?
I'm all ready. I think it's 2 miles squared away in good shape.
Okay.
Okay, you'll have to pay out all the LEC. Now, it looks like it's coming out nice and evenly.
Okay, it's quite dark here in the shadow and a little hard for me to see that I have good footing. I'll work my way over into the sunlight here without looking directly into the sun.
Okay, it's taut now.
It's very interesting. It's a very soft surface, but here and there where I plug with the contingency sample collector, I run into very hard surface, but it appears to be very cohesive material of the same sort. I'll try to get a rock in here. Just a couple. Edge for you.
Okay, ready for me to come out?
Yeah, just stand by a second. I'll move this over the handrail. You've got 3 more steps and then a long one.
Okay, I'm going to leave that 1 foot up there and both hands down to about the 4th rung up.
There you go.
Okay, now I think I'll do the same.
A little more. About another inch. There, you got it?
That's a good step.
Yep. About a 3-footer.
Beautiful view.
Isn't that something? Magnificent sight out here.
Magnificent desolation.
Okay, Houston, tell me if get a new picture.
Neil, this is Houston. That's affirmative. We're getting a new picture. You can tell it's a longer focal length lens. And for your information, all LEM systems are go. Over. For your information, all LEM.
For those who haven't read the plaque, we'll read the plaque that's on the front landing gear of this LEM. There's 2 hemispheres, one showing each of the 2 hemispheres of Earth. Underneath it says, "Dear men from the planet Earth, first set foot upon the moon, July 1969 AD. It came in peace for all mankind." It has the the crew members' signatures and the signature of the President of the United States.
A little bit too much to the right. Can you bring it back left about 4 or 5 degrees? Okay, that looks good, Neil.
Okay, that looks good, Neil. Okay, now, think I ought to be farther away or closer? Can't get too much further away. Let's try it like that for a while.
Buzz is erecting the solar wind experiment now.
Some of these small depressions, big pop, and you tend to think.
Oh, it's beautiful, Mike. It really is.
Oh, geez, that's great. Is the lighting halfway decent?
Yes, indeed. They've got the flag up now, and you can see the stars and stripes on the lunar surface.
Up now, and you can see the stars and stripes on the lunar surface. People that are listening and watching tonight, God bless you. Good night from Apollo 11.
That sat on the pad at Cape Kennedy 9 days ago. We've jumped slightly in time again to the point where the astronauts will be picked up by the recovery helicopter.
And Recovery 1 going in now to pick up the first astronaut.
I think this last hour or so of the mission before they get aboard the carrier must be the most uncomfortable, if not the most unnerving part of the whole mission. The recovery took just over 1 hour. Splashdown at 9 minutes to 3 Australian Eastern Time this morning, and the astronauts stepped out onto the deck of USS Hornet at 12 minutes past.
Where the crew enter the mobile quarantine facility.
President Nixon with Thomas Paine just behind him, and to his right, Thomas Paine being the administrator of NASA. You have been viewing highlights of man's greatest adventure, the voyage of Apollo 11. This program was produced by the videotape department of Channel 9 Adelaide.